Hey guys, so today is one of my favorite parts about landscaping is the lighting. So this is the lights that are going to go, they're LED. You can see they're 35 watt equivalent, but they only take 9 watts. They're going to be flush in the ground, and depending on the budget that we're working with, these are actually about 36 bucks. These ones are at Lowe's. Now the only thing I don't like about these is that water, leaves, junk will get inside here. So you have to make sure that you keep that cleaned. That way you'll get a nice, bright, clean light coming up. Otherwise, you can get the more expensive ones, which will be about $80, and it's just flat glass. So nothing will get stuck on it. But these ones, we have 9 of these going in. And then I also have these, which are, they're the same color as these, and they're also LED, but they're frosted, so they give a nice glow. And I basically put them in there like this, and these are going to go on some of the purple flaxes that I have in the yard. And it comes in a pack of 4, and these also are from Lowe's. You can see they beam about 2 feet high, and they're 13 luminous. These ones are, you can see it beams 11 high, and it's 195 lumens. And then we have these ones, which are going to have a nice glow on the flowers, and they're great for also pathway lights. Actually, I think I have one out of a box over here, so you can actually see how these ones look. These ones are the same color, they're 3000K. And these are heavy duty from Home Depot. They're also LED, not plastic or anything at all. They have a nice heavy glass right here to protect it. And these ones, I have a couple of these, 5 of them going in. It says 19 lumens. So just so you guys can see that. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I've been using these lights. You know, these are good quality lights that I've been using for about 4 years now. So I haven't had any problems with any of these lights, and I basically use the same Hampton Bay. It's a good brand. Their transformers are also good, and I also use Malibu transformers, which you can get from Orchard Supply. And that's the one I have in here. So I have a 300 watt power pack. And this one basically is all electric. So you can see right here everything it comes with. And these are great. I mean, I've been using these, all my clients like them. They're really easy. You can use them. I've been, for about 4 years now, I've been using this brand as well as the Hampton. So they do have, this one comes in a 600 or a 900, but because I'm using all LED, I'm only going to be using maybe about 160 watts. So that works out perfect. Now this one right here I could keep, but as you can see, it has the old timer, so we're upgrading that. It also has 300 watt max. And then this is the old Rainbird, so I'm going to be switching that out as well for a newer one. But for right now, I'm using the lights. I use the 12-2 cable. And these are great right here. I get these from a landscape company. They are filled with gel and they're waterproof. So those are great for connecting all these together, because the connections that these come with, they are not waterproof. So, and I hate using them really. So you can see these, you know, all you do is, I mean, it's easy to use and it's very fast, but you can see, you know, water can easily get in there and corrode it. So I don't use these. So here is the frosted one I'm going to be putting right here on the flax where this flag is. These ones in particular come with a very long cord. let's see, as you can see, you know, this is probably 5 feet long. So what you want to do, because I'm obviously splicing it, I'm not using this, which is not waterproof. If you're going to do the same thing, cut the cord. You always want to have a little bit of extra room, so I usually loop it like this. That way you can move it around, maybe over here, or you can move it over here. You know, you have a little bit of room to play with. But you don't want too much wire. You don't want all this wire right here, because what it's going to do is it's going to end up giving less power to the lights. It uses more power the longer the wires are. So it's always a good thing to cut them. And then I don't use black tape, because I don't need to cover these up, because there's gel inside. So you can see the gel kind of coming out. But what it does is it keeps the water from coming in, as well as dirt from getting in there. So it has a nice connection. So yeah, just make sure, you know, the from this light to that light can be straight, but make sure you leave, I usually leave about a foot of play. So basically this is how you can see it'll look. So these wires will go right over the top of the dirt. That way they can be easily seen. If you end up putting them under the ground, then they can easily get hit by a shovel, a pick, anything like that. So you just put the mulch right on top of this, or the bark, whatever you're going to use to cover the soil. And then when you're going to be doing any digging or anything like that, you scoop the mulch or bark out of the way, and then you'll be able to see the wires so they don't get hit. These wires are not a high voltage wire, they're low voltage lights or wire. So there's no electricity running through it unless the transformer gets turned on. And then I will be staking these once, as I make sure that these are exactly where they want, exactly where I want to put them. I will be staking these and flattening these down. So another tip I wanted to show you when you're connecting these, make sure that you connect the right ones, because what will happen is you'll end up blowing the whole circuit, which you'll need to buy new lights or new light bulb. If these lights are LED, then you're going to have to buy new lights. If they're not LED, then you're going to have to replace the bulbs if you end up getting the wires mixed up. The black wire will always be smooth, and it will have writing on it. So if you cannot see the writing because you are connecting to an old wires that have been in the ground, you can check to see, and you can't see the writing, then make sure it's smooth. If it's not smooth, you can see on this one right here, there's little ridges, and that's the white wire. So the same thing will be on the new light, the new wires for the lights. You can see there's writing on this side, and you can see the ridges on the other side. So just make sure you get those two right. So I did show you these ones at Lowe's. These ones were, I believe it was $36. And I just want to show you the quality. It's got a nice heavy duty quality. The light inside does not get replaced, but it is LED, so it will last many years, or it should anyways. So basically all you have to do is just unscrew this top, and you have a this is dual glass, 2 pieces of glass, and it's got a nice tight rubber seal on it, so that just fits right inside of there. And then this goes right in there, and then you just twist and tighten. So the rest of that from here to here will all be in the ground. Alright, so here's the first well light right here. You can see there's a little bit of dirt on there, but it's basically pretty easy to get it out. And the reason why I face these this way instead of the other way is because this is going to make it a lot easier to clean. You can just use a blower and just blow it off, or you can hose it down. If it was facing the other way, then you would have to hit the hose this way. It just makes it a little easier, but basically you're going to get the same amount of light either direction. Now I did put it more in the front of the podocarpus than in the center because I didn't want to have too much light on the wall behind it. I wanted to light up more of the tree. And I spaced them halfway in between, so that's 2.5 feet right there. And I also used a level. Just wanted to level it out, at least in that direction, so that the light will be equal. And then it's not necessary to really put a light on each one. So I'm actually on this one, I'm actually going to be doing a light on every other tree. If you wanted to spend a little bit more money, you could put one on every one. It's, you know, you'll get more of a lit up wall all the way, but these are actually pretty bright, so they will light up basically both of them. Alright, so there you have it. I'm testing out the lights, making sure they work. It's obviously too bright outside right now for me to adjust them, so I have to wait till later, or I'm probably going to do it on Monday when I have a longer day. You can see here I use some zip ties. I'll most likely be painting that white so that it's not as noticeable, and then the mulch is going to go right over the top of all this. Now this drip is for the wall, and I'm going to be putting LED lights underneath the shelves on the wall. So I'm going to be poking a hole through the inside and putting the landscape lighting wire from there instead of coming up from the bottom. And then here you can see these ones are also on. They'll have a nice glow on the flowers. You have another one right there. And that one. So it looks like they're all looking good. You got these ones right here. You can see it's kind of a frosted. These are normally for decks, but it does have a stake in it so you can put it in soil. And this right here, this hole, is just an air hole. And water will go in there and then it'll come out the other end. There's actually a hole in the bottom, so it's okay if stuff gets inside of this, because there's nothing in there except for that piece of plastic. So the light is actually inside of this one, not around inside this one. I put flags on them and I still trip over them. It's concentrating too much on this other stuff. Cool. It's gonna look nice. Sometimes what you can do during the day is you can go like this, and sometimes if it's bright enough, you'll see it. Like this side over here is still shaded, so you can kind of see a little bit. Or you use a white piece of paper or cardboard. That will also help to be able to determine where the light starts and where it stops. I mean, I could see just from going like this, I can see that the light, it looks like it's coming up to about here. So that's good, because I don't want it to really shine up into the house right now. I can see it's coming up to about here, so it's almost the top of the bushes. So as the bushes get higher, I can just tilt this light up a little bit, and that won't be a problem. Same with this one. Yeah, I mean, I could see I can see it going up to about here, so that's good. It'll give it a nice glow. This is gonna look really nice, good at night. I love seeing these at night. Alright, so this wire right here that's inside the electrical tubing, that's going to be for the barbecue area. Another socket that I'm going to be adding over there. These two black ones right here that I zip tied are for the lights, and I put electrical tape around one of them so I know that this one right here is the north side of the yard. This one right here is the south side of the yard. Now, the one that I picked out was the Malibu. It's got 300 watts. It's the same as the old one, but it's digital instead of the old timer that just spins. So here you have your clock, you have your time on, time off, and then right now it's set on timer. It does come with one of these, which is a sensor that you can put this outside, and at a certain time of the evening, it will turn the lights on automatically when it gets to a certain darkness. You can see right here, you can set it that if you're using this, it will shut off, it will turn on at dusk, and then it will turn off after 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours. So you can change it to any of those. Right now, I am not using this. I'm using it on the timer. So basically, you know, 5 o'clock here in California, and December it starts to get dark. So that's usually a good time, and then depending on, you know, how late they want it, it can go as late as you want. I mean, till 5 in the morning or something like that.